Hello, everyone, and happy CX Day. I am Gabe Smith, CCXP. I'm the content manager and associate director for the Customer Experience Professionals Association, or CXPA. We know CX Day is a day to celebrate, and it has been so great this morning to see all of your social media posts, all your posts on LinkedIn, using hashtag Happy CX Day and really celebrating throughout the day. We've really loved to see that. And it's a day to celebrate CX accomplishments. And so for that reason, I'm really proud to join you today and celebrate the finalists for and announce the winners of CXPA's annual Impact Awards. But beyond the celebration, beyond the finalists, beyond the winners, CX Day is a day to celebrate the impact of all CX professionals globally. So we want to hear from you. Where in the globe are you tuning in from? And also, what's a CX accomplishment that you find yourself celebrating today? So make sure that you get your comments in, use those comments. We want to hear from you. We want to help celebrate your accomplishments with you. So, hey, Crystal DeCunha says, happy CX Day from Niagara Falls. Great to see you. Fantastic. Make sure you let us know where you are tuning in from. And so just to give you a little bit of background, CXPA's Impact Awards were established to honor the impact of CX professionals and the impact that they make in their organizations. So this year, rather than just awarding winners in a single category, we have featured 3 categories of customer experience excellence. So that is impact in an organization, impact on the CX profession, and diversity, equity, and inclusion outcomes related to CX and the impact on that. So really exciting and great to see all of the folks who are joining us from around the world right now. Farah, great to see you from the UAE. Georges, happy CX Day as well to you in Cameroon. We have Bruno joining us from Brazil. We have Enrique San, CCXP. Happy CX Day to you, Enrique. Looking forward to chatting with you a little bit later today on our Latin America and the Caribbean regional panel. Jeff is tuning in from Chicago. Lynn Hunsaker, CCXP, is tuning in from Arizona. Cassie is tuning in from Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs. And we have Eduardo tuning in from Brazil. Love to see that. Make sure that you let us know what you are celebrating today as well so that we can celebrate with you. To kick us off today, though, I'd like to welcome a very special guest, and that's CXPA's CEO, Greg Melia, to share a few remarks on the Impact Awards. So welcome and happy CX Day, Greg.
Happy CX Day to you too, Gabe. Go Chiefs, right? Great to see so many people tuning in from around the world on this really special day to celebrate you, the work that you're doing, and to take a moment to celebrate these 3 Impact Award winners.
It's fantastic. Greg, I'd like to chat just a little bit about the reason behind the Impact Awards. Why is it important for CXPA to have an Impact Awards program?
CXPA is all about helping to support, develop, and acknowledge the development of CX professionals across their career. We want to celebrate those individuals, and we want to have an awards program that has no barriers to their participation. Yes, it is a rigorous process. Yes, it requires you to submit applications. Yes, it requires you to be judged by your peers. But we wanted to make sure that that application process was open to everyone and that we were able to have an opportunity to say, what are the beacons of lights? What are the great examples? What are the inspiring stories and individuals who are driving change through recognition in the Impact Awards?
That's fantastic, Greg. And you said, those beacons of light. In the past, we've really recognized finalists and winners for the Impact Awards broadly. So, why was it important this year for CXPA to recognize three categories of impact?
I think that the recognition of three categories of impact today tell us a lot about the development of CX as a profession. We've gone from just needing to explain to companies that customer experience is a strategy that drives success for their employees, for their bottom line, and for their business results, as well as their customers, to a recognition that this is a profession. This is an avocation that people choose to develop in and to have a career in. We've also come to recognize that customer experience and diversity, equity, inclusion have an incredible interconnection and an incredible opportunity to craft a future where all customers and all companies can be more successful. So having the three categories allows us to tell those three important stories. How is CX driving a company? How is CX developing as a profession, and who are the folks that are contributing and leading in that development? And how is CX advancing a more equitable, fair, and inclusive world? So really excited about the recognition today, really excited about the stories that we have to tell, really thankful to the volunteers who are powering this awards program, and to everyone who's tuning in. So happy CX Day, and good luck to all the nominees.
And Greg, are you going to hang out backstage for just a little bit and help me out with some behind the scenes stuff?
Sure, I can take a hint.
Thanks so much, Greg. Great perspective. Okay, so uh, Greg talked about those three categories of impact. And so we had a global panel of volunteer judges who kind of the first step in the process was to evaluate some video entries to determine a slate of finalists. Each of those finalists was then asked to submit an essay that offered further description and reflection on their CX accomplishments. So our first category was impact on diversity, equity, and inclusion outcomes in an organization through a better customer experience. And so we celebrate today three finalists in the diversity, equity, inclusion impact category. And they are Kylie Green, Corporate Customer Experience Coordinator at Logan City Council in Queensland, Australia. Hilal Karaman, Passenger Experience Design Specialist, IGA, Istanbul. There we go. Perfect. Passenger Experience Design Specialist, Istanbul Grand Airport, Istanbul, Turkey. And Tom Lodkowski, the VP of Accessibility and Multicultural at Comcast in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So before we announce the winner, I just wanted to say that I've had a chance to look at the submissions for each of these finalists, and just want to say that I really applaud your work and the fact that you and your companies use CX to serve truly all customers, and especially those who may not have had equal access or experiences in the past. So your stories, which I'm really looking forward to sharing more about with the CXPA community in the future, are really inspiration and proof that equity, inclusion, and CX are not just the right things to do, but they provide better business outcomes as well. So before we announce the winner, I want to bring on two of our judges, Michelle Morris, CCXP in the United States, and Farhan Niaz in Dubai, in the UAE. So welcome to Michelle and Farhan. I'm so excited that you could be here as we announce the winner in this category.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So without further ado, the winner is, we go to the next slide. Hilal Karaman, Passenger Experience Design Specialist at Istanbul Grand Airport. So congratulations, Hilal. I'm going to bring you into the program. You've been hanging out backstage. So as you are hearing this news, first, let me give you a second to take that in. Let me ask Michelle and Farhan a question first. So Farhan, as you were reflecting on Hilal's nomination, what really made her a winner in your mind?
Well, first of all, congratulations to her. Congratulations to all the participants, actually, and a very happy CX Day to everyone. Hilal, I was so impressed with the nomination. I never thought that such detail could be given to the people who really need that attention. And to create a design at the airport for the special needs people was remarkable. And some of the things that they've done, it seems that their hearts have been touched by those people. And somebody has gone into the actual experience while designing how do those people go through. So such an amazing thing done. I think this is an airport that should be very proud of. This team is somebody who should be very, very proud of their achievement. And some of those things that you've done should be, I feel, replicated across all the other airports as well.
Yeah, Farhan, I think you said it well. So much heart that went into this. And Michelle, I want to get your perspective here as well. What made this stand out to you?
Yeah, Greg or Gabe, I'm sorry. This
okay.
was so exciting to read all of these applications, honestly, to watch all of the videos. Really, all the finalists were outstanding. But Hilal, you really stood out. And I will say congratulations and happy CX Day to you first. But I will say the thing that impressed me so much was the depth of research that you did, looking at all kinds of disabilities, not just one, but many types of disabilities. And really, this award is based on outcomes. And I know Gabe talked about that at the beginning. This is about outcomes. And the outcomes you have, they're in place already. And they were outstanding. I was especially impressed with the solutions for autism and then for the blind. And I just want all of those solutions in all the airports I travel. So I really congratulate you on a job well done. Thank you.
It's fantastic, Michelle. Great perspective. And Hilal, I want to ask your thoughts here in a second, but I wanted to share with the audience part of your application essay just to read aloud. You said, in my current role as a passenger experience design supervisor at Istanbul Airport, I lead projects to improve the airport experience of our guests for 2.5 years. Specifically, I'm responsible for improving the experience of our disabled guests and families with children. I've conducted site visits with 19 people with different disabilities like visual or hearing impairment, those who use a wheelchair, those with cerebral palsy or autism. We experienced our airport together with them for the entrance to the flight gates, defined the pain points, and discussed the possible solutions for their independent journey while they have been mostly expected to get assistance service from their airlines. While organizing these site visits, I've brought together the disabled people with the related people from other departments and vendors who may have a role in implementing the suggested solutions. So Halal, congratulations on being the winner of the 2021 CXPA Impact Award. What are your thoughts as you reflect on this accomplishment? And what advice do you have for the worldwide CX community?
Hello, everyone, and happy CX Day to everyone. Thank you very much for this nomination. I'm very excited now. Actually, firstly, yes, I am nominated, but I want to say that all the work that I have lead won't be possible without the support of many people. Firstly, our top management, of course, and all other IGA teams, NGOs, disability NGOs, and disabled people. We work together. And of course, our team, CX team, IGA CX team, we all work together in this successful work. So, yes, I am nominated, but I am not alone. We work together, all together. Our main perspective is actually providing an independent experience to all our passengers with disabilities, with children. We didn't want them to, yes, you are disabled and you should get an assistance. No, we didn't want to do this. We want that everyone can travel alone, can experience our all our services on by own. So we worked for this, and while doing this, we, as you have also said, we have experience together with disabled people. We defined the problems and we trying to find the solutions together. Then after we have found the solutions, then we tested together and get their feedback, and always we are looking for more improvements. We still work together. I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
It's fantastic, Halal. What a great story to celebrate on CX Day, the amount of collaboration and co-creation. And, the congrats are not just coming from me and Michelle and Farhan, but coming in through social media as well. Priya says, well done and hearty congratulations to Halal. Vuk says, many congratulations, Halal. A lot of kudos coming your way from folks around the world right now. So congratulations again, Halal, and thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you to Farhan and Michelle for joining us as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So congratulations to Halal. Our next category is impact on CX in an organization. So nominated individuals within this category have utilized CXPA's knowledge domains to achieve a measurable customer and business outcome for and within an organization. If we go to that next slide, that would be fantastic. So here are the finalists. We have Brian Kling, CCXP, the head of digital and community support at ST Microelectronics. We have Gustavo Sued, the director of CX at YDUQS Education. We have Andy Netzel, CCXP, the VP and head of the Performance Innovation Lab at KeyBank in the United States. We have William Lum, CCXP, the director of CX at Firma in Canada. We have Jake Lechnier, the director of digital operations at Restaurant Brands International. Guillermo Koga, the director of CEM and strategy, reporting and analytics at Samsung Electronics Americas. Stephanie Roodhouse, the senior director of customer advocacy and experience at Whatfix. Georges Isama is customer relations manager at Cameroon Telecommunications. Gloria Gupta is director of sales service and customer experience at American Medical Association. And Leandro Coelho is the CX director at Telefonica Brazil. So I really enjoyed working alongside the judges for this category, because really each of the applications here represented an excellent real world case study on the use of CX to drive business success. So want to bring in two of our judges in this category to gain their perspective, and they are Anna Iorga and Mark Gandolfi, CCXP. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So Anna, I want to start with Anna. I want to start with you. What stood out to you across the many finalists in this category, and then what set the winner apart as well?
I want to say that all finalists are outstanding leaders, and they had impressive achievements and demonstrated the ability to apply CX to the benefits of their customers and their organizations. And the winners stood out by delivering amazing results, training a team of several thousand people, and impacting some 100,000 employees. Furthermore, they captured the voice of 100 million customers, which I mean, these numbers are huge. And the program he created, the winner created, got recognition through multiple awards. And if that was not enough, all this was pulled together in the midst of the pandemic, probably the hardest year of our lives.
It's fantastic.
Mhm.
And Mark, I want to bring in your perspective here as well as you sort of reflect on this panel of, really impressive finalists. What words would you like to share with those finalists?
The accomplishments of every individual on this page are great examples of things that inspire other CX professionals. So thank you for for sharing your stories, because there's just so much to learn about the work that you're doing, and really feel how you're making the voice of your clients, your customers, so very real in your organizations. There's just a really impressive suite of talent here that's doing that hard work. So congrats to all of you for being finalists. From my, as I was reading the information and the videos from our finalists, what I was really looking for were the individuals who were being very holistic about their CX programs. So who were really focusing on all the dimensions of what it takes to apply great experiences in an organization. So it involves training, it involves the employees. The employee experience is a cornerstone to developing good customer experiences. So for me, it was really looking at how all of those dots got connected throughout the organization, and seeing that operate at scale. Right. So that's it's one thing to do it in small teams. It's a different thing to do it at scale. So those were the keys for me in terms of just deciding who should win the award.
Yeah. Well, to Brian, Gustavo, Andy, William, Jake, Guillerme, Stephanie, Georges, Gloria, and Leandro, congratulations to all of you. I know this is a really difficult choice. These judges have expressed to me how hard this was, but there is one winner of this year's CXPA Impact Award in this category, and that is, I think someone in the comments may suspect based on what I can see, Leandro Coelho, the CX director of Telefonica Brazil. So, Leandro, congratulations to you and welcome to the broadcast.
Wow, amazing. I was really surprised. No, first of all, happy CX Day for all of you.
Mhm.
It's an honor for Vivo and especially for me for being recognized by the greatest CX association worldwide. Our CX program, DNA Vivo, has been built by every individual in the company every day. And this success was just possible because of the commitment of our leadership, especially our CEO, Christian, who was the one pushing us to improve the experience and in every single customer touch points with Vivo. There's a lot to work to do, but this award shows that we are in the right path. So thank you a lot, really.
Yeah, Leandro, that's really fantastic. And, we know the team is so critical for success, and CX is a team sport. That's our theme. But I want to share a little bit from your application. You said our CX program, Vivo DNA, has 4 pillars recognized by everyone in the organization: being reliable, meet what is promised; easy, having simple products and no fine print; delightful, making every interaction unique; and efficient, saving customers time. And it was essential to build our 6 main programs that create a customer centric culture. The program contributed to a 20% increase in NPS over the past 3 years and reduced customer churn. So we talk about impact and outcome. I mean, that really gets at outcomes. So, I was wondering, as you reflect on this and reflect on this accomplishment, any advice that you would share for the worldwide CX community that's watching today?
No, sure. I think it's a long path. I think we should be resilient and believe that when we are working with customer experience, we are working with people, and this is the best part. So when you are resilient and you trust and we have a great team, you can achieve these results. So be resilient and work for people and work with the best people for changing your organization, for changing your environment.
Fantastic, Leandro. Congratulations again to
Thank you.
you and your team. Thank you for joining us. And Mark and Anna, thank you for joining us as well.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. We have one final category, and that is impact on the CX profession. So individuals who are nominated within this category have influenced the practice of CX across industry and geography through their thought leadership contributions. There were 8 finalists in this category from 7 different countries, and it was really clear from the applications as well as the judges' comments that these are really individuals who've had an enormous impact on the growth of CX globally. So here are the finalists for this year's award. Crystal de Acuna, President and CEO of the Inside View in Canada. Sandra de Zoysa, CCXP, Group Chief Customer Officer, Dialogue Axiata PLC in Sri Lanka. Lucas Fonseca, CX Manager at Alelo, Brazil. Bruno Guimarães, Founder, Amigos do CX in Brazil. Sebastian Munar, CCXP, Managing Director of Clientrica in Peru. Yung Nguyen, CCXP, Founder and Chairman of CEM Partner in Vietnam. Neil Scahel, CEO, Awards International, UK. And Steve Walker, Chairman and CEO of Walker in the United States. So I want to bring in one of our judges in this category, and that's Ismail Ozank, CCXP, coming to you from Dubai. So welcome, Ismail.
Thank you, Gabe. It's my pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So, Ismail, as you look at this screen, at this slate of amazing finalists, what are some characteristics of this group that really stood out to you?
Thank you, Gabe. First of all, happy CXA to everyone across the globe. Going back to your question, obviously in this particular category, impact on the CX profession. So what I witnessed that among all the other the finalists, that they have phenomenal job that they have done to impact the CX community. But what I witnessed that the effort that has been put by our finalists was very inspirational towards creating a better CX community. They also went the above and beyond. They enable and they help other CX and non-CX professionals in not only expanding their knowledge and professional development, but also changing their lives, minds, and behavior. So these are the common the characteristic that I have seen when I was looking at all the applications.
That's fantastic. And this is just a great group of people. And I love seeing the encouragement, enthusiasm that's coming in from the comments and the support that's coming in for one another in the comments as well. So fantastic group of folks, Crystal, Sandra, Lucas, Bruno, Sebastian, Yung, Neil, and Steve. Congratulations and thank you for the impact that you've made on the profession of customer experience globally. So let's announce the winner of the CX Impact Award in the category of Impact on the CX Profession. And the winner is, drumroll, Steve Walker, the Chairman and CEO of Walker. So, Steve, I want to bring you into this broadcast. Congratulations. Welcome. I want to ask Ismail, though, first. Ismail, as you reflect on Steve's entry and Steve's accomplishments, what really stood out to you?
Thank you, Gabe. When I was looking at Steve's application, obviously Steve, in the first place, he's the third generation of the company that actually working on CX domain. So it's suddenly that stood out. And then when I deep dive exactly the work that has been done, all the episodes, if I'm not mistaken, it was around more than 170 the podcast that he's been kind of publishing to educating the people. So these are really tall orders, let me be honest with you. And then when I look at the comments that a lot of people, they watch, listen, and learn from him, and it was all positive. And then I was able to see how he was able to change people's lives, minds, and behaviors. And these are the areas that these are the things that I've seen. And again, congratulations, Steve. It is very, very well done and good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations, Steve. Your application, your final response, you reflected on great many ways that you've really helped to advance the CX profession. But a center point was you talked about your work on the CX Leader podcast, and specifically you spoke on your tagline. It's a great time to be a CX leader. So could you talk a little bit about the origin and meaning of that tagline?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Gabe, and thank you for your kind words, Ismail, and congratulations to all the winners and all the nominees. I am truly honored and humbled to just be part of this group today, and happy CX Day to everybody. We started our CX Leader podcast, and we thought it might be, a great marketing tool for us, and I think it has been ultimately. But what really more emerged was just the kind of the celebration of our profession. And, frankly, I kept getting guests on the show, and I talked to them, many of them like our practitioners here today, just talking about what they were doing in their company or how they were changing lives. And I just, it just kind of came out organically one day. I said, well, you know what? It's a great time to be a CX leader. And, I just started saying it. Now it's kind of like part of our shtick, I guess, that we do on the show. But it really is an amazing time to be in our profession. And, as kind of a student of the history of our business and having been around a long time, I go back to before there was a CXPA and before our profession really was well defined. And, I remember sitting in meetings and industry meetings for years talking about when are we going to have certifications and when are we going to have standards. So I just really feel lucky to be a part of this industry and to have survived and worked long enough to see it mature to this point. And, I think we're only starting to scratch the surface. You hear the stories, and, the story of Hilal is so inspiring. And then just to see all the nominees around the globe, it's just very, very gratifying, having spent, almost 40 years now in the profession. So thank you for everything.
Yeah. Fantastic reflection, Steve. And I want to ask too, because, CX Day is a time to celebrate, and then also to think about how can I make a bigger impact? And maybe that's impact in their organization. Maybe it's, how can I help impact and grow my career? But just wondered, what advice would you have for CX pros who are listening right now, who are wondering, how can I make even a bigger impact in the year to come?
Well, the other thing we do on the podcast is I always ask my guest for take home value. And that's sort of something that they could take back to the office the next day. I guess I would just share that, despite, I actually, Leandro used the word resilience. We do face sometimes some headwinds and some uphill climbs in our efforts to try to make our organizations more customer focused. But I think the cause is just. And so the effort is worthwhile. And I think that, as long as you do something with the right intent, and I think that customer experience pros are really trying to help their company succeed by providing great value that customers value and are willing to pay for. And then you put in the good effort in the long term, the organizations that are successful are going to be those that are the most customer focused. It's just the way that the world has emerged. And I think the world's better for that too. So our profession is noble and our cause is just, and do not let, any of the, negative stuff get you down. Just keep hammering away at it. And I think, again, just the whole concept of what we see today is the result of those who've gone before us. And, we're just really lucky to be here at this point in time as CX pros. It's a good time to be a CX pro, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Absolutely. And you're getting some agreement here. Farah says, being in the CX industry gives a great boost to happiness hormones as you work to serve customers and make their experiences memorable. So
I wish I would have said that.
That's great. So Steve, thanks for serving up a lot of happiness hormones through your great broadcast, through your commitment to moving the discipline of customer experience forward. So congratulations again.
Well, I'm honored, and thank you very much again for this great honor.
Fantastic. And thanks, Ismail, for joining as well. All right. And thank you for tuning in and for celebrating the impact of really all of these finalists and all of these winners, and celebrating them. So as a reminder, we hope that you're planning to join us for the rest of the CX Day festivities. You can check out our calendar of events at www.cxday.org. And if you've got a success story and an impact that you want to share, please drop me a line. You can reach me at gabe@cxpa.org, because we can celebrate your impact together. We can share those stories. We can learn and advance this discipline together. So with that, wishing you all a happy CX Day, everyone.